Winter animal care, and how to keep raccoon away. Winter animal care tips to keeping your animals healthy and happy during winter months. Cold temperatures can cause some challenges in small and hobby farm livestock barns, but using some easy techniques you can manage your livestock successfully during the winter months. Number 1. Water. Ensuring your animals have access to fresh, clean water is essential to their health. Livestock cannot meet their water requirements by eating snow. Waterers should be regularly cleaned to help reduce the number of bacteria, fecal matter, and other solids that may build up over time and affect the taste of the water. Water consumption is affected by numerous factors such as animal size, diet, productivity, and the season. Dehydration can be fatal to animals. In the winter, battling frozen water buckets and tanks can be a challenge. By using immersible tank heaters, heated buckets, or automatic waterers, water is kept ice-free, and at a temperature the animal is comfortable drinking. Products that utilize electricity, such as immersible tank heaters and heated buckets, should be checked with a voltmeter to ensure there is no current running through the water. Any electrical current will deter animals from drinking from the water tank or bucket. By inserting one end of the voltmeter in the water tank and the other into the ground, you will get a reading that will indicate if there is a problem. Make sure to check for electric current often. Features an easy-to-use chart for water consumption rates for beef cattle, dairy cattle, horses, sheep, and swine during various stages of development. This tool can help you determine not just enough water for your animals, but also if your animals are consuming enough water. Water quality will also affect the amount of water livestock will consume. Water quality can be impacted by contaminants such as salts, excessive nutrients, or bacteria. It is important to have your water tested to determine if it contains contaminants that may impact your livestock. Your local health department may provide testing. Number 2. Housing. Most animals need some shelter during the winter months. However, their natural winter coats allow them to endure cold temperatures. Providing shelter or wind breaks that can be easily accessed by animals is key. Humans oftentimes are prone to making the winter environment for their animals too warm, which is unhealthy for animals. Air quality ventilation to help dispel respiration gases and manure odor is important. Depending on the type of barn you have, there are various ways the barn can be ventilated. Ridge vents are more prevalent in newer barns and are based on the premise that heat rises. Older barns may require opening doors or windows to allow for air circulation. Poorly ventilated spaces can cause irritation in the animal's lungs and lead to respiratory infections such as pneumonia. If you notice condensation on walls or ceilings, that is a good indication your air isn't ventilating enough for the number of animals occupying the space. You will need to adjust accordingly. Dry bedding areas. Dry bedding provides insulation from the cold ground, helps preserve body heat, and minimizes stress. There are many options for bedding you can use, including straw and wood shavings, and with cattle you can use corn stover or similar crop residues for cows and bulls. Overall, livestock bedding should be comfortable, clean, and absorbent. Feed animals must maintain their energy reserves to endure cold temperatures. Before the weather gets cold, assess the body condition of each animal and adjust the nutrition they are receiving to adequately prepare them to thrive in winter conditions. It is critical to continue to assess body condition scores throughout the winter, as it may be necessary to increase the amounts of good quality feed and forages. Supplying adequate amounts of feed is essential in your animal's well-being through the winter months. How to keep raccoons away from your home and garden. Raccoons are found across North America, residing in every kind of habitat from hardwood forests to coastal plains to swamps. Unlike some wildlife species, raccoons procyon loader thrive even in urban areas. One reason the furry, striped mammals do well in various environments is that they are clever and adaptable. Raccoons are excellent climbers and can grasp and manipulate objects with their feet, says Sheldon Owen, PhD, Wildlife Extension Specialist at West Virginia University. But they can be destructive. If a raccoon finds a 1-inch crack in siding, for example, it will dig, chew, and figure out how to pull off boards to expand the hole for a new den, which is why you might want to know how to keep raccoons away from your home. Understanding raccoon behavior. Raccoons are opportunistic feeders, chowing down on whatever's readily available. While they're mostly nocturnal, it's not unusual to see them out foraging during the day, says Owen. They eat plant and animal matter including acorns, seeds, fish, frogs, crayfish, eggs and young birds, insects, berries, and occasionally carrion. They're also notorious for digging through garbage cans, raiding chicken coops, and ripping apart vegetable gardens. They're geniuses at exploiting new food sources and will teach their tricks to their babies. While raccoons are fascinating creatures to observe when they're not tearing things up, you don't want them close to or inside your home because they can carry fleas, ticks, lice, and several serious diseases and parasites. They're a common carrier of rabies. They also may transmit canine distemper, which can affect unvaccinated dogs and wild canids, as well as ferrets, weasels, and skunks. When nesting under your porch or deck or in a crawl space, chimney, or attic, raccoon waste will accumulate and cause odors. In addition, raccoon feces may contain Balis ascaris roundworm eggs, which can infect humans and lead to nerve damage or blindness. Kids often are more likely to become infected because they play on the ground and may put hands in their mouths. Why do raccoons wash their food? Raccoons often are seen rinsing off their food or dipping it into water before eating if they're near a water source. While it seems like these animals are washing their food, it's actually thought that water helps make their paws more sensitive to what they are feeling. This may help raccoons more easily identify edible and non-edible objects, especially when foraging in streams. However, washing isn't mandatory, and a raccoon still will dine if there's no water nearby. It's just another way these clever creatures have adapted to every environment they inhabit. Signs of raccoon activity. If you find your trash can upended and garbage strewn everywhere, there's a good chance a raccoon is to blame. You also may see their tracks, which have long, slender toes and claw marks with foreprints about 3 inches long and hindprints that are 3 to 4 inches long. You may see raccoons coming and going, or you may hear them whining or growling when they're living in spaces such as your chimney or attic. Or you may notice nesting materials blocking chimneys, under your deck, or in other sheltered areas on your property, such as a shed. Creating a raccoon-proof environment. Prevention methods. There are no effective repellents or devices that frighten away raccoons. When they learn there's no real threat and there's still food available, raccoons ignore these methods. Removing potential food sources and excluding raccoons from an area are the most effective means of keeping them away from your home. If they're not causing damage and are keeping their distance, it's fine to leave them be. But if they are too close for comfort, you can make your yard less appealing to them with these tips. Seal openings. Raccoons use multiple dens throughout the year, so look for holes in and around your home, shed, or crawl space that could be enlarged to provide access to a warm, safe spot for a new den. Cut back limbs that touch the house, which makes entry to your attic too easy. Install chimney caps. Don't leave pet food bowls outside. That's a sure way to invite not only raccoons but other unwanted guests such as mice, opossums, and skunks. Keep poultry indoors at night and seal any gaps. Raccoons can reach through and pull chickens out through holes. Remove bird feeders if you suspect a raccoon is raiding them. Keep trash in cans with lockable lids, or use a bin with a lockable lid. Raccoons are stronger than you think and dexterous enough to work bungee cords off a can lid. Professional assistance. For persistent raccoons or a mom and babies denning in your home, you may need to hire a nuisance wildlife specialist for removal. Expert help is recommended because a mom, if cornered, likely will defend her offspring. You also don't want to leave babies behind accidentally because they will die inside your home if you remove the mother. Remember that raccoons can transmit rabies to people and pets and distemper to unvaccinated pets, so they should never be handled alive or deceased. If you find a raccoon that is acting disoriented, lethargic, or aggressive, or is stumbling or curling up and sleeping in exposed areas near your home, contact your state's wildlife department.